In this video, we're going to talk about Wildgate's hardpoints. They are upgrades you can equip to your ship. You can loot areas in the Reach and find them, or you can steal them from other enemy ships. They're really important, so we're going to discuss them and put them in a tier list. I'm going to be making Wildgate content until Elon Musk hires me to be a full-time space pirate. Alright, in this video, we're going to talk about Wildgate and create a tier list for the hardpoints in the game. They are the ship upgrades you can find and equip during a game. They're really important. If you use them correctly, they're going to make the game a lot easier for you to win, and if you use them incorrectly, you probably don't even have a chance to win the game. So, in this video, we're going to talk about what they do, how to use them, and when to use them. We're going to talk about which hardpoints are good, which hardpoints are bad. And also, it's important to know what the hardpoints look like, which they each have individual looks and colors, because during the game, you can board an enemy ship and steal a hardpoint, teleport back to your ship, and then you're going to have that. So that's important to know. You don't want to steal a bad one, because, it's like you just wasted that. You're going to keep your enemies to having the good ones. And if you steal the good ones, then you're gonna have an easier job winning that team fight. And then also it's important to know which are the bad ones, because there's a character in the game named Sal who enables you to turn the hard points into your ship's processor and kind of re-roll it, potentially maybe get a upgraded hard point. So here we go. Let's get right into it. The first hard point is the ammo regen. Each ship's processor holds heals for your ship in the form of ice, fuel, and ammo. So it's like one of the three things your ship runs on that's going to help you win the game. And it's pretty important to have ammo in the game for sure. And I actually like the ammo regen one, because once your ship stonks up a lot of ammo, then you can actually take it off and put on one that you need, and then maybe if you run through a lot of ammo in a team fight or two, then you can just put it back on again. So yeah, that's a pretty good one to have. I like that one for sure. The next one is the bomb trap. You're going to install it to an enemy ship. After a short duration of time, it's going to do 20 damage. If someone puts them on your ship, you could take it off, and vice versa. If you put it on an enemy ship, the enemies can kill you and then take it off before it blows up. They're alright. I mean, it's just 20 instant damage. They're, I don't know, not bad. Definitely better ones, though, for sure. The next one is the booster. The afterburners can fire 25% more often. That one's pretty good. And it pairs well a lot with some of the other hard points. I definitely like it for the game style I like to play. But it's important to know whenever you're using the booster as a hard point on your ship, that your group or squad really needs to farm a bunch of fuel, because it's really easy whenever you're using this hard point to really burn through the fuel for sure. Okay, so the next one is the fire barrier. That's the first bad one we're going to put on the list. The fire barrier makes the ship immune to fire asteroids and reduces the fires on your ship by 50%. There's not a lot of times you really go in the fire asteroids, at least I haven't through the playing in the beta. And then also the ship fires are, pretty easy to just put out yourself. And if there's a lot of them, someone on your team could just make a call out. Everyone could teleport back to the ship and just start on repairs. It's really not that big of a deal as long as everyone's on, comms and everyone's kind of working together a bit. But so that's the first bad one. The next one is the laser ram. This is going to win you games for sure. The laser ram is absolutely meta. It's a short range, high damage laser that's always on. I used it the most. Whenever you have it on, you want to drive really aggressively. And the laser ram actually pairs very well with the booster. And then another hard point we're going to talk on this list called Smuggler's Turn. They give you the mobility and the speed to really get up close to the ships. But whenever you're using the laser ram, you want to try to avoid ramming into the ship. If you ram into the ship, you're going to do a lot of damage to the front of your ship. create a lot of fires as well. And depending on where your ship makes contact, whenever you ram them, you might actually just destroy your laser ram. So what you want to do is you want to get within distance so the laser is touching the enemy ship without ramming them. If you do ram them, it's not the end of the world, but just make a quick call out. Get the boys back on your ship and start repairing. And if you have a laser ram and the other team doesn't have a laser ram, you should win the fight. Honestly, they're pretty meta right now, and you really have to know if your enemy has one, and you have to play away from them. Yeah, it's like they're probably one of the most important hard points in the game. But the next one is the Mega Core. The Mega Core does plus 30 max ship health and heals the ship over time. I'm going to put that one on very good. That one's really good. The plus 30 ship health is great. So if you're fighting the same type of ship, you have a huge advantage. But another thing to realize about the Mega Core is that it's going to heal your ship. So I would make sure you have a lot of ice, because you're really going to run through the ice for sure. With this guy on. If you have a long drawn out battle, it's going to auto heal your ship, which is great. But yeah, I would definitely recommend farming up on some ship repairs before you start being too aggressive. The next one is the mine layer. It launches 3 mines. The mines take a couple seconds to arm themselves. And they'll blow up your own ship if you throw them out and also run into them. But they're great, honestly. Yeah, you can win a whole ship battle just deploying mines. You can put them in the back of the ship mostly. I watched a lot of YouTube videos on how to play the game and how to not be terrible at it. And a lot of people are saying that you should always put it in the back, but I'm going to go ahead and disagree. As long as you're the person piloting your ship knows that the mine layer is on the front of the ship, he can get really close and then stop, and then release the mines to the front. And you could actually use the mines aggressively. And if you could successfully learn how to do that and pull that off, that's going to win you team fights. That and the laser ram can really, really just win you games if you use them and do them properly. The next one is the probe sensor. It's bad. It's not terrible. I mean, it's very like a niche thing. You put it on your ship, and then it increases the scan range of probes by 200 meters. It's not as great as it sounds, and you can stack them as well. So if you get 2 or 3, instead of doing just 200 increased meters, it'll do 400 and 600 respectively, depending on how many you have on your ship. But it's one of those things where if you're using the probe, toss it on, and if you're not, take it off and put something else on if you have more hard points than you have spots on your ship to use them. And then also, you could just drive the probe closer and then scan anything. It really saves you a couple seconds, maybe. Yeah, and it's only good if you use the probes, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it, but probing is important. It's really important in this game for you to see the other ship before they see you. If you can surprise them, you're probably going to win the team fight. But if you get snuck up on, you're probably going to lose. So it definitely is important to use the probes, but also, I don't know. I don't really like the sensor that much. The next on the list is the Sal bomb trap. We talked about in the beginning of the video, there's a prospector named Sal. He can turn in hard points into the ship's processor and kind of re-roll them into other hard points and sometimes upgrading them. This is one of the upgrades he creates. It is exactly like the other bomb trap, but instead of doing 20 damage, it actually does 30 damage. So it's a little bit better. So we put the first bomb on okay, the Sal's one, put it on good. And then the next one is called Sal's Invention. It gains ship ammo over time, exactly like the first hardpoint we talked about, the ammo regen hardpoint, but also gives you 20% ship shields, which is actually great, honestly. That's really good. So the first one, if you remember, I talked about the ammo regen giving you ship over ammo over time, I said put it on whenever you stonk up enough ship ammo, then to take it off. You're gonna want to leave this one on for the whole time. It's gonna give you the ammo regen, which is great. So you're always gonna have a sufficient amount of ammo. But the fact that it gives you 20% to all ship shields upgrade, you're never gonna want to take that one off. So you're probably just going to have unlimited ammo for that game. The combination of the two definitely makes it much better. That's definitely a really good one for sure, for sure. Okay, the next one, number 11, is the security device. The security device warns when enemies are on board and automatically closes doors. So, whenever you have the Bastion ship unlocked, you're going to actually get this one spawned in with you for free. Unless they change it from the beta. But in the beta, whenever you unlocked the Bastion and use that as your ship, you would spawn in with a hardpoint already on your ship. That was the security device. It's definitely a pretty good thing to have. It's better to have it than not have it, you know. And another thing that I found out through playing is it only closes the doors whenever enemies open them. So if your teammates open a door, they still have to shut them. But whenever an enemy opens the door is going to close behind him, you know, giving you an extra, like, second or two maybe before two boarders get on your ship. So, I mean, the security device is good. I feel like it's definitely one of the better hard points in the okay tier. You know, maybe you could argue putting it up in the good tier, you know, for sure. I wouldn't disagree with you there at all, but... Okay, the next hard point is the shield device. It gives 10% to all ship shields. We're going to put that one in the good category. It's not quite as good as Sal's invention, which gives you 20% and ammo regen, but that's another one of the ones you're going to want to put that on the enemy or your ship and then just leave it on the whole entire time for sure. Okay, and number 13 hard point is the ship core. You get ship cores whenever you destroy an enemy ship. You're either going to get a regular core or a mega core. Both of them are good, and both of them you're going to want to put on your ship and leave it on the whole entire time. It gives you 10% max ship health, which is good. That'll help out in a team fight for sure. If you're having an even fight, that extra 10 health could win you it for sure. The next one is the shock field. For sure. The shock field, whenever you activate it, is going to kill nearby creatures, and it lasts for 10 seconds. That's a pretty good one. So what that means is if an enemy boarder is coming to board your ship, they have to land on your ship and then go through a door or some sort of port of entry. While they're on your ship or around your ship, you can press that button, and it's going to electrocute the outside of your ship. And every enemy that gets hit with that electrocution is going to basically auto-die. And that's one of the ones that you have to activate, the shock field. You have to walk up to it. There's a little button on the side of it. You have to, like, press it, and then that's going to activate it. And then also the mines. The mine layer has a little button on it. Whenever you walk up to those two hard points and then activate them, they're going to temporarily do what they're supposed to do. Like the mine layer, whenever you press it, it'll put out 3 mines, and then it's on like a little bit of a cooldown, like around like a 15-second cooldown, and then you can use it again. Same thing with the shock field. You're gonna walk up to it, you're gonna activate it. You know, what you want to happen is you want the person piloting your ship to call out if anyone's boarding the ship, and to kind of time it to someone else on your ship when to press it, when to activate it. I definitely like that one. The next one is the smuggler's turn. It passively gives you a turn bonus. You activate it whenever you're driving the ship, and it lasts for 30 seconds, and it really upgrades the way that your ship turns, which that's a good one to have. I personally like that one a lot. And whenever paired with other hard points, I think it's better. So if you're using the laser ram and you're gonna try to get super close up to ships, I think that makes the booster and the smuggler's turn better. So if you're using a laser ram and then you have the booster and you also have smuggler's turn, those are a great combination, and I would even put these two up into very good if you pair them with like a close combat build. The three of those are very nice together. If your pilot's good, he should cook and basically win you the match. You've guys looted and put him in a really good spot there to win the game. We'll pull them back down there though for just in case, just for the generic tier list. And then the last one is the Storm Barrier. It makes you immune to cosmic storms. It's not great. I'm going to put it in the bad tier. It's really a niche thing to have on your ship. You can really easily avoid the cosmic storms. If you have it, and you're in a ship battle and you're losing, you could use it to escape through a cosmic storm. So it's like, good occasionally. And then also I notice sometimes the artifact spawns in the monolith where it's hidden around a cosmic storm. So, unless it's one of those two moments, it's bad. But if you're good and you don't really lose ship fights and you normally, kind of do well, then you don't have to run away into cosmic storms. And then also, if the artifact isn't surrounded by a cosmic storm, you don't really need it at all. It's very situational. It maybe would be okay, if you're in that situation. Same thing with the fire barrier. If you're in that situation, it temporarily makes it okay. But for the most part, it's bad and not really good. So, yeah. So if you're boarding an enemy ship, these are what you're going to want to look for. I wouldn't really try to steal any of these bottom tier things. And if you can, definitely steal these top ones. If the other team has laser rams on and you board their ship, I would say that's the first thing I would go after to try to steal. And then also the mine layer. These two can completely win you team fights if you have them on your ship. And then that's like a double-edged sword too. If you take them from the enemy, then at least you're not fighting people with laser rams and mines. So they're great. And then also these two as well. What are they? The Mega Core and then Sal's Invention. I would also, if you see these two as well, I would call it out to your team that you're fighting a ship that has those, and then the boarder should actively try to steal these four for sure. And then, I would steal something, then, if you're going to board an enemy ship, you're going to want to try to, get a couple kills and then steal something from them for sure. And if they don't have these four, you should definitely still steal their hard points. But if they don't have these four, I would maybe steal their guns. And if they have basic guns or maybe even just quad cannons, then I would, use your discretion through playing the game. You'll learn. You'll learn what you like to have on your ship and what you don't like to fight against. And then, but it's definitely really important to know what these look like. So whenever you're on the ship, you know what to steal. And also whenever you're on a probe and you're kind of scouting out the enemy, you can make call-outs to your teams because you can see these hard points through the outside of the ship. Yeah, cool. So that's the tier list for Wildgate hardpoints. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you made it this far.